This session is blessed for so many reasons. The biggest reason is that this is the last session of this tranche of graduations. In English, they say we always save the best for last. Eminence, excellencies, most distinguished graduates, friends, and family. Good evening. By virtue of the power vested in me as Chancellor, I hereby constitute this congregation of the University of the Free State for the awarding and conferral of qualifications in the Faculty of the Humanities. I therefore award and confer qualifications to and on all the candidates presented by the Dean of the Faculty to this congregation. In addition, I hereby award and confer qualifications to and on those whose names appear in the program but who are not present here today. You may be seated. I only have one request and one request only. If we are at our best behavior, when you work with me, we can finish that much earlier. And the prize is that as we move out of here, the best behaved ones will then have a selfie with Ntate Jerry F. Mofokeng wa Makgetho.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this last ceremonial gathering for our recipients of certificates. Tubela, Dumelang, good evening, goeienaand. Today is a special day indeed, and few events and occasions hold as much significance as you being here. This day is just as important for those who have supported you a long way. Many of you had to overcome a lot during your journey to get here today. Many of you are the first in your families to be at higher education, but also to take the journey through to your achievement that you have achieved. Many of you as well have gone through a lot of hardships, but you have earned this moment, and you should be extremely proud. Always acknowledge and recognize the significance of your achievement as you transition from being a UFS student to alumni. Certificate recipient, you have had the honor of studying at an institution that commands a track record that is on par with well-regarded national peers, as reflected in the 2023 Times Higher Education World University and Impact Rankings. Sufficient evidence indicates that higher education has the potential to function as an agent of change and means of serving the greater good and therefore the public good. Although the mission of our university is always been equip you with the knowledge and skills and attributes, it is very important that you also realize that we add values to your pathway, and those values are important for you in your communities where you are returning to. UFS places great emphasis on ensuring that students and staff have an outstanding university experience. In our pursuit of excellence, we are proud that our environment is conducive for intellect and knowledge to flourish. As such, our values of excellence, innovation and impact, accountability, care, social justice, and sustainability are embedded in all our activities across the institution. Recipients, irrespective of what you undertake in the future, if you're coming for another degree, if you're coming to your communities, to serve your communities, remember to pursue your passion and continuously have the desire to make a difference in the lives of others. Surround yourself with people in your community while inculcating kindness, empathy, passion, and awareness of the real issues in our country. If you want to tackle the unfinished goals of our country, and there's a lot of them, create a better world. Build that. Do that by building bridges. And be morally astute. And grow your networks, your relationships from where you are and where you're going to be. Life can be challenging. If you are on your own, you can't do it. That's why we surround ourselves with a community that we're serving, and we work as a collective. It is up to you to align yourself with those that have a common cause, the same that you. Heal the divisions that keep us separated, and carry along those who have been left behind and are still struggling. Congratulations to all our recipients. May you have continued success in all your endeavors. I hope some of you are registered for a diploma or a degree, but all the best wishes for you, whatever you decide to do. And congratulations again. Kia liboga, siyabonga. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kgotsong bomme le bontate. I would like to take this opportunity this evening to introduce to you our important guests. It is my singular honor to have this opportunity to introduce to you our Chancellor, Professor Bonam Mohale. Our guest speaker, Dr. Jerry Mufokeng, our council member, Mr. Zama Skwebela, our Vice Rector Academic, Dr. Angela van Staden, our Deputy Registrar, Mr. Aban Naidu, the Executive Director of Student Affairs, Mr. Mutlukhelwa Moema, the President of the Convocation, Dr. Peter Titoy, the representative of the Dean of Education, of the Dean of Economics and Management Sciences, Dr. Abufanwi Koloba, the representative of the Dean of Education, Professor Bekitemba Dube, the representative for the Dean of Health Sciences, Professor Champion Nyoni, the Dean of Humanities, Professor Mokhome Masuha, the representative of the Dean of Natural and Agricultural Sciences, Professor Paul Grobler, our SRC President, Mr. Kabin Butler. Ladies and gentlemen, I have few announcements to make as the rule of the House, and they are as follows. The university makes use of official photographers who are present in the hall today, and those who arrive after the pre-ceremony announcements are requested to refer to the graduation event program. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is a time to celebrate the achievements of each graduate. Hearing the full names of each student being announced is important to everyone. You are therefore, ladies and gentlemen, asked to limit cheers and loud exclamations, making them short enough for everyone to hear the announcement of the next student. We strive to conduct the graduation ceremonies in a dignified manner and ask that you remain from leaving the hall before the end of the proceedings to avoid disturbing the ceremony. You are also asked to please keep your cell phones on silent for the duration of the ceremony. And we'd like to make a special request this evening, ladies and gentlemen, to our graduates, those who are taking diplomas, that when you pass through this stage, you will be handshaken, your hand will be shaken by the Chancellor, and you're not supposed to be kneeling. Only the bachelor's degree students will do so. So this will also save our time, ladies and gentlemen. There's a musical item that I would like to introduce this evening to you, colleague. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a song called Strangers Like Me by Phil Collins. It is performed by Falkray and the Graduation Instrumental Ensemble and the dancers of Louis Faury Dance Studio. And the song has got this story. It is the best-selling artist Phil Collins wrote the song for the 1999 Disney animation film Tarzan. The song Strangers Like Me talks among other things about Tarzan's fascination with Jane, as well as the wider human world that he still needs to discover. The song received highly positive reviews, and Collins also recorded it in Spanish, Italian, French, and German. This evening, the song is performed by the Bloemfontein Band, together with the Graduation Instrumental Ensemble and the dancers of the Louis Faury Dance Studio. Do we have the choir? Over to you.
Whatever you do, I'll do it too. Show me everything and tell me how. It all means something, and yet nothing to me. I can see there's so much to learn. It's all so close and yet so far. I see myself as people see me. Oh, I just know there's something bigger out there. I wanna know, can you show me? I wanna know about these strangers like me. Tell me more, please show me. Something's familiar about these strangers like me. Every gesture, every move that she makes me feel like never before. Why do I have this growing need to be beside her? Through these emotions I never knew of some other place far beyond this world, beyond the trees, above the clouds. Oh, I see before me a new horizon. I wanna know, can you show me? I wanna know about these strangers like me. Tell me more, please show me. Tell me familiar about these strangers like me. Come with me now to see my world, where there's beauty beyond your dreams. Can you feel the things I feel right now with you? Take my hand, there's a world I need to know. I wanna know, can you show me? I wanna know about these strangers like me. Tell me more, please show
your cell phone, put on your torch, and we're gonna have some fun, all right? So all the graduates, we're gonna start with the Mexican wave from the front, and then we're gonna move to the back. Are you ready for a Mexican wave? From the front and to the back. Are you ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I think we're gonna try this again. Let's try this again. So from the front to the back, Mexican wave with your cell phones. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I think it's time to get the entire crowd involved in this little exercise of ours. We're gonna start from my left, and then we're gonna go all the way to the right. You ready for action? Right, our Mexican wave. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's bring this back, shall we? Let's bring it back from my right, back to my left. Are you ready for action? Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let me hear you shout proudly, Copsies. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Proudly Copsy!
We are.
Proudly Copsy!
We are.
Proudly Copsy! I wanna know, can you show me? I wanna know about these strangers like me. Tell me more, please show me something familiar about these strangers like me. I wanna know, can you show me? I wanna know about these strangers like me. Tell me more, please show me something familiar about these strangers like me. I wanna know.
Wow. Surely it is the last session and we are entertained. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give them another round of applause? I'm now pleased to introduce the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities, Professor Masucha, who will present his candidates.
Chancellor, I have the privilege of requesting you to award the following qualifications to the candidates that I introduced to you: the Faculty of Humanities Higher Certificates. Mr. Chancellor, Higher Certificate in Humanities, Communication Studies, and Anthropology. Kele MP obtained certificate with distinction. Keliba MS. Dweba H. Le Sole TD. Mokgweetsi RP obtained certificate with distinction. Mokomanyana T. Moloko LP obtained certificate with distinction. Musianedi S. Motaung NP. Mutumi BKM. Mteleli OP obtained certificate with distinction. Mjali KL obtained certificate with distinction. Kalinge RM. Ramudula BP. Sampu Z obtained certificate with distinction. Seti BE. Sebuta TPN. Skosana TG obtained certificate with distinction. Twala TN obtained certificate with distinction. Mr. Chancellor, higher certificate in Humanities, Communication Studies and Psychology. BAS FW obtained certificate with distinction. Berkman CK obtained certificate with distinction. Biga FR. Diboke KD obtained certificate with distinction. The Chakane SB obtained certificate with distinction. Dlamini BZ. Tumbisa B obtained certificate with distinction. Goliath CLK. Gono S obtained certificate with distinction. Sole KP. Kware KN obtained certificate with distinction. Kobotle LS obtained certificate with distinction. Ko LP obtained certificate with distinction. Kumalo M obtained certificate with distinction. Kwacha F obtained certificate with distinction. Kotoi L Kuvuzela LH obtained certificate with distinction. Lesapo T obtained certificate with distinction. Leshodi MA. Leuta K. Madondo BC. Is that? Mahodielo NO obtained certificate with distinction. Malika KS obtained certificate with distinction. Mapobole AM. Masendi V. Mashawa TJ obtained certificate with distinction. Mashilo PMK. Matara E obtained certificate with distinction. Mateta T. Mbeba KG obtained certificate with distinction. Mkonazi PG obtained certificate with distinction. Ngube SP. Nune D. Mofokeng MG. Mohale NS. Mukobo MM. Mukhotswa SA. Molatole TY obtained certificate with distinction. Mushesha LC obtained certificate with distinction. Let's have some order that side, please. Musiti T. Mutlabane RR. Mutloung PA. Mpakanyane MF obtained certificate with distinction. Mtia NP obtained certificate with distinction. Mtolo KY. Mhlapo T obtained certificate with distinction. Nonqi A obtained certificate with distinction. Order. Can we have some order, please? Ntai S. Mzama P obtained certificate with distinction. Khadebe M. Rasakanya PR obtained certificate with distinction. Rululu Z obtained certificate with distinction. Sikhotu RT obtained certificate with distinction. Siliani RK obtained certificate with distinction. Tawe GD obtained certificate with distinction. Teoha NP obtained certificate with distinction. Whistle GD obtained certificate with distinction. Mr. Chancellor, higher certificate in Humanities, Communication Studies and Sociology. Bocelli P. Butelezi VJ obtained certificate with distinction. Dikoko VM. Dromo SS. Kati M. Kumalo NA obtained certificate with distinction. Kumalo S. Kwanya T. Likela TJ. Mabita PP. Madibo KA. Mahasi S. Malebo MG obtained certificate with distinction. Mangali SP. Manu RE obtained certificate with distinction. Manchiani KM obtained certificate with distinction. Masaze SB. Mashinini T. Order. Matimane MP obtained certificate with distinction. Matsepe TB. Mkunu NPG. Mkunu ST. Mkhunu T obtained certificate with distinction. Dakane SD. Mekwe MW. Melanie Y. Mkachwa K. Meli KKE obtained certificate with distinction. Raleboha. Thank you. Mueng TV. Mpale KP. Mohasi I. Muloi MS obtained certificate with distinction. Mosala L obtained certificate with distinction. Mutaung D obtained certificate with distinction. Mutolo M. Mutloum PC obtained certificate with distinction. Mkadi PT. Ngwenya LP obtained certificate with distinction. Thank you. Nkubiso M. Thank you. Sifuti RW obtained certificate with distinction. Thank you very much. Sesedi RT obtained certificate with distinction. Soteti MSG. Mr. Chancellor has certificate in humanities, political science, and psychology. Dulebom W obtained certificate with distinction. Johan TP. Khadizo MT. Lekwati EK obtained certificate with distinction. Thank you. Thank you. Lengwane OBM obtained certificate with distinction. Lukai Mani M. Muloisani MT obtained certificate with distinction. Mautu CL. Maratani KM. Mele CG obtained certificate with distinction. Mukhele KK obtained certificate with distinction. Mukoka KF obtained certificate with distinction. Molefe TM obtained certificate with distinction. Raleboha, thanks. Thank you. Muloi KMS. Muloi KE. Musaneke MN. Neven Hayes GN obtained certificate with distinction. Pagamela K. Mr. Chancellor, higher certificate in humanities, political science, and sociology. Bakes J.R. Bierkes J.R. Demar R.M. Gamma NPP. Hasinakala TS. Leroux DW. Mabala T. Mahasi BT. Is that Malash? Malash NDJD. Mdlaluse BN. Michelle KDL obtained certificate with distinction. Mueti SM. Musebi KP. Nchake MA. Nkwanyana NA obtained certificate with distinction. No. Nkwanyana. Njangase NL. Sebakeng T. Sekaputsa RD. Chacha RV. Van der Westhaven D. Kulu SN. Mr. Chancellor, higher certificate in humanities, psychology, and sociology. Chabalala RJG. Devier D. Dimo MJ. Dlamini T.O. obtained certificate with distinction. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Gumede NK obtained certificate with distinction. Jacobs DHK. Khwadi RP obtained certificate with distinction. Kwalani PP. Lecho RP. Lekoma N. Raleboga, thank you. Mabaso TN. Mabuya KS obtained certificate with distinction. Thank you, thank you. Malotle GK obtained certificate with distinction. Raleboga, thank you. Matkalepo E. Matsasen K. Matswele KH. Matswele KH obtained certificate with distinction. Mbadu S obtained certificate with distinction. Mudise MP obtained certificate with distinction. Thank you. Mohapi RP obtained certificate with distinction. Molatu T obtained certificate with distinction. Molehe T. Moletsane LL. Moreanare KM. Motlatledi KP. Mpeke I obtained certificate with distinction. Mkhabalala O. Mkamane VPR. Ntlakane B. Ntswane N. Olen LM obtained certificate with distinction. Pasladira KF obtained certificate with distinction. Sifudi MP obtained certificate with distinction. Fanel LE obtained certificate with distinction. Mangaliso V. Sibeko S.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure this evening of introducing to you our guest speaker, Dr. Jerry Mufokeng Wamakheta. Dr. Makheta is an iconic and award-winning South African actor who has appeared in several critically acclaimed films, including Cry the Beloved Country, Lord of War, Mandela and de Klerk, and the 2005 Academic Award-winning film, Tsotsi. Dr. Mufokeng studied at Wits Drama School, where he initially majored in acting, and later went on to study at Columbia University in America, where he obtained his master's degree in theater directing. In June 2019, Dr. Mufokeng received an honorary Doctor of Letters degree from the University of the Free State for his commitment to scholarship and his service to humanity. Dr. Mufokeng.
Dumelang. Good evening. Goeienaand. During the day, I was very nervous. And those who were there might have told you what happened. And so I do not want to be seen to be unfair. Therefore, I will ask you to stand and sing with me. Datintekele, 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 iwabuha, ilandatintekele. Kirintatintekele, intatintekele, hikuwayatutos, hirakina kaibata, hikibata huyapara, hikitabaditu, tabatu. Kirina kaibata, ikibata huyapara, sabadipu, sabatu, ifere, ikintatintekele. Tatintekele, kirintatintekele, hikele, hiuta, Kirintate untekele. Kirintate untekele. Karintate untekele. Untekele. Eyatuto. Kirin hinna kai batla. Eke batla huyapala. Eke taba dipua. Tabatu adifele. Kirin na kai batla. Eke batla huyapala. It's about the poor. It's about le tampula isa dulang fatshe. Professor Mahale Ntate, ki a o dumedisa, ki a leboha. Distinguished guests, members of faculties, doctors present here today, all the graduates, their families, and everyone that has made it possible for these people to graduate today, good evening. Please say one word with me, priceless. That's not convincing. Priceless. Thank you. I want to share a few thoughts with you this evening. You've had lectures, you've had speeches, you've had prayers, you've had all sorts of things. I just want to share a few thoughts as an elder. And as soon as I say an elder, that says I have a license to open my heart and not censor it because I care. I want to talk about the DNA of a UFS graduate. The DNA of a UFS graduate. And before I go far, I want to thank all of you for the spirit that you brought into this sitting this evening. You were applauding from the first graduate to the last one. Thank you very much for that spirit. When you look at the certificates that are written and given out, you'll find only one name written on those certificates, but honestly speaking, there's a whole family, there's a whole church, there's a whole society, there's a whole village that accounts for those certificates. And tonight, I want to thank everyone that contributed to the success of the graduates that we saw tonight. I also want to preface my talk by saying I'd like to congratulate you for finishing. There's a whole lot of people out there that have what we call ABT, all but thesis. And it might not be a thesis, there's an assignment that's missing, there's half a course missing, there's something missing, and somehow after 7 years, you're still saying, one day is one day and it just never happens. But you guys finished. And for that reason, allow me to say congratulations. A graduation is but a confirmation
an acknowledgement and a celebration of success in completing what you started. It's significant to have a culture, a reputation, and a record of completing what you start. You know, it's wonderful to have a reputation that people know you've got the stamina to run the race and complete it. There are many of us who have failed and betrayed our own selves, and we continue to judge ourselves because we did not complete. But you sitting here in those gowns and those scrolls in your hands, you've completed, and it's worth celebrating and congratulating yourselves. My time's limited, so I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts on this important day in your lives. Even if all you got is a diploma, you only got the diploma today. Next time you'll get something else, and therefore, this milestone is important. I'd like to use the analogy of a driver, of a car, of a vehicle. There's a rear view mirror, small, there are side view mirrors, and then there's the big windshield in front of you. The rear view mirror reflects your academic journey that you've completed. It is the past, and the past is the past. The side view mirrors reflect this graduation. It is now, it is today, it is this month of April. The windshield reflects the life ahead of you. It is the future. In short, ladies and gentlemen, the graduation is not an end. It is the beginning or continuation of life. You did not just study for the gown and the certificate. You studied for life. When you take the gown off and hang the certificate on the wall, we are left with you, the naked you. It is your DNA as a graduate that you are interested in. Your DNA, your character, your makeup, the fabric that you are made of. Bommele bontate, the graduate is more inside than outside. It's who you are, not the piece of paper. You're more than that paper, you're more than that gown. Going back to the rear view mirror, as you drive on your journey, what you see in that small mirror continues to disappear, to recede. If at any point you see the same tree in your rear view mirror and in your windshield, there's a crisis. You can't see the same tree in your past and in your future. So on one hand, you can't forever glory in the fires of the past. Nam for nam, second year ke ba bontshitse ntho ba sokang ba e bona. Yes, acknowledge the successes of the awards and the cum laude achievements, but if you park your mind at the gate at UFS, that certificate will expire, and that will be tragic. Expire. Please understand that after 3 years, 4 years, the books that you quoted in your thesis might have been revised already, and those people might have proved themselves wrong in what they said in your thesis. There are people, I apologize. On the other hand, there are social, psychological, and academic scars that you leave with you. You can't afford to freeze those in your rearview mirror. There are some careless decisions here and there. Yes, the scars remain, but they are not the definition of your future. I know there are some young ladies who've had to postpone a year because of a pregnancy or something like that. And those two eyes are the joy of your life today. And you can't continue to regret that. And if you can, I can ask you to do yourself one favor, that is to forgive yourself. There are people who will always choose to remind you, even as you are appointed a CEO of a multinational company, and all they can say is, oh, that one who was a functional alcoholic when they graduated. And they choose to forget who you were and not who you are. And they will not congratulate you for who you are today and tomorrow. When you exit this campus, physically and emotionally, you owe it to yourself to erase the scar of your past journey at the University of the Free State. Ladies and gentlemen, no Kamsis have ever produced a great captain, and you are captains by achieving those certificates through the rough storms of the seas that you went through. There's a famous quote by an American cultural anthropologist, Margaret Mead, which says, "Children must be taught how to think and not what to think." Children must be taught how to think, not what to think. Allow me to borrow that and propose that as an esteemed graduate of this institution that inspires excellence. We are releasing individuals who've been taught, trained, disciplined, and mentored on how to become independent thinkers. Not parrots. One of our children was fortunate to be in a school where, as a 7-year-old, there was an unfortunate experience of a teacher who lost her pregnancy. In order to explain to the kids what happened, the school brought a gynecologist who was pregnant herself, and she explained the conception and birth process to the kids. Our daughter came home to talk to us about sperms, the vagina, and the pimas. We blushed and all that because we come from Bantu education that taught us how to label a locust, and up to today, I don't know why. So this university has taught you to become thinkers. You'll do this country a disservice if your appetite for inquiry, for an investigation, and for questioning ends after this graduation. If you stop asking the question why, then we haven't done our job. Let me plead with you that we should not have expired degrees after 5 years because you have stopped thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're standing still as far as education and a mind that is always questioning and searching, you're not standing still, but you're actually rusting and undergoing a recession. Go and apply what you have learned and remain evergreen. That is the DNA of a University of Free State graduate. Evergreen. Let me share just 2 or so thoughts from my own industry that I think perhaps will help you to understand my heart this evening. First, please, I beg you, please stay grounded. Stay humble. During the day, something unplanned happened, and some of the people who were passing here, they lifted up this mat, and Prof. Mohale stood from his seat and fixed the tape on that mat. He did not behave like a boss, he behaved like a servant. A leader is a servant. I think this evening you saw that when one graduate lost her cap and he was about to pick it up. In my field, it is the half-baked actors who find themselves in a soapy and then they think they are artists. They may be influencers, but definitely not artists. Quite often, they are proud and abrasive in their interaction with fellow artists and with the public. Dare you try and ask for a selfie from them and you'll get a piece of their mind. It is the half-baked academics and artists who will quickly say, "Do you know who I am?" Truly educated graduates are the ones who relate with their family members and members of society who cannot construct a sentence outside their Afrikaans, Sesotho, or any language. They know how to speak with those people and fully understand, and you don't talk to those people with an accent. During our youth, we had a few people who went to America for short courses and came back pretending that they could no longer speak our languages like all of us. They came back with what we called a phony mid-Atlantic accent. Hi guys, you guys who go to Model C schools, brah, whoa, whoa. You are not South African, you are not American, you are somewhere mid-Atlantic. Lost identity. You know, I got a scholarship to go to America, and my professor says to me, "Jerry, you know, Americans will come to you and say, 'Yo, man, you speak kind of funny, where you coming from?' He says, 'Aye, don't panic.' You say, 'Aye, I come from Africa.' 'Lua, now you speak very funny, where do you come from?' We must stop apologizing for being who we are. When you speak your Afrikaans, speak Afrikaans like an Afrikaner. Speak your Sesotho ka bor, o be Mosotho a feletseng. When you speak like that, you are at the best of yourself. The more knowledgeable, the more grounded the graduate is. I'm challenging you to shock a few people that when they find out what your qualifications are, they just think, enwa ke motho. You are an epitome of Ubuntu. Hey, I'm your uncle. You're not my doctor. I'm your uncle. Don't come, I'm doctor. Hey, I'm your uncle. Then I will congratulate you. And I saw a picture on social media of a man who was in the army, and then his daughter had gone a rank above himself, And so, according to army protocol, when he meets his daughter, he must salute. And he did that because by protocol, she has a higher rank. But when she gets home, she's a daughter. And if I may add, please get yourself a mentor. You'll save yourself a lot of scars. Let me also ask you to prepare yourself to have an impact on future scholars and practitioners in your field through writing. I've seen the Chancellor's books on leadership, and he's impacting this and the coming generation in the way in which they talk, they think, they practice leadership. This morning he was just talking to those people who are going to get their doctorates, and he says, you know, arrogance is just a disguised way of showing, allow me to improvise it, to showing your ignorance and your fear and your vulnerability. Have you tried to talk to somebody and before you finish your sentence, they've hit the roof, and in actual fact what they're doing is they're answering themselves and not you. There are those people, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, but no, they've got no ears and 10 mouths. They listen only to themselves. And so, listen, it's okay to toy, to write to the dean and do all those sort of things and demand that we should have a decolonization of education and this and that. You be the answer, and you're right. You're right. Thank God I saw the library department. We had a workshop of first years, was it last year? And they've produced a book of short stories and poems. You're right. And you write your experience, you write your language, and impact the next generation. I'm a bit late. Only now I'm releasing my first book written in Sesotho. First book. Because apartheid and other universities and so on, they told us that when you think, when you dream in English, that's when you're educated. You can't think like yourself as a Mosotho. I'm reminded of one character in the Bible. Allow me to take the liberty to do that. Ezra 7:10 says, Ezra had set his heart to study the law of the Lord and to do it and teach his statutes. The sequence is quite clear, ladies and gentlemen. It's first the study, the discipline, the inquiry. Next is the practice, the implementation, the testing. Then finally, the teaching. It's a problem. It's a problem to get people who speak opinion to go and teach others. They don't know what they're talking about. When you know what you believe, you also know what you don't believe and why you don't believe that. And so I'm asking you to be grounded. Don't be too important for yourself. I remember, not name dropping, I remember I meet Bra Hugh go Harlem. Exemerite, who's it? How? This time? After being away more than 30 years. Exemerite, who's it? and he sits down and he shares everything. Mrs. Gwangwa was babysitting children for us. After Ntate Gwangwa had written big music after that film, yeah, Steve Biko, A World Apart. Down to earth. The bigger you are, the more grounded you are. Number 2 lesson is integrity or character, if you so wish. It's unfortunate that there seems to be a growing reputation for artists that when we write our memoirs, rehab must feature prominently. It's as though when you are an artist, you must womanize, you must drink, somewhere you must find yourself at rehab. Then you are a proper artist. Famous, but millions disappear from those parties where you take your cocaine. Ladies and gentlemen, so you understand, I have a son who's been on drugs 17 years. Been to rehab about 9 times. Been to prison about 5 times. And has been dead about 3 times. Listen, drugs have no favor. The destinations are the same. You either go to prison or to an institution or to the grave. That is guaranteed. And if there's any graduate that you are releasing today that is on drugs, I beg you to get help now. Now. Because, sure, Lord of mercy. You know, there was a top manager in a mining company who had quickly to resign because he became rich. You know, I like it when the Bible says, a fool and his money are soon parted. A fool and his money are soon parted. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Success is not cheap. Success is not cheap. The fact that you've gotten that qualification and you're riding the tide, it takes more work to stay at the top of that tide. And I'm asking you to be sensible about the power and the success that you have achieved today. There's a book that I'd like you to read if you get a chance. It's called A Man for All Seasons. That's a classic play by Robert Boltz. And integrity is one of the major themes of that play. Sir Thomas More, who's the main character, is tested to the hilt as he remains true to his conscience. He remains true to his word up to the end. You know how it's like to know that a graduate or UFS, their word is their contract. Whatever they tell you, you know they're going to do it. If they didn't do it, it's because there's a good reason why. But otherwise, they keep their word. And let me tell you, sometimes it's better to say no than to say yes and not keep your promise. One of the quotes in the play is, "Every man has a price." Let me borrow that quote to say, every graduate has a price. But the integrity of a graduate of the University of the Free State, their integrity in scholarship and in character makes them priceless. And so, as we release you to the world today, allow me to say, go out there as a graduate for all seasons who is priceless. God bless you.
That was a powerful message indeed. And may I ask this audience to give Dr. Mofokeng another round of applause. Dr. Mofokeng, we would like to thank you for the powerful message on behalf of the university. Thank you so much, Poka Tjogomo. May I also take this opportunity to call upon the Chancellor to conclude the proceedings.
I mean, did he wrap that up? Let's give it up for Ntate Ngaka. Ntate Jerry F. Mofokeng wa Makgetha. Ke Mokoena motho. Ke Mokoena Mokotedi. Ke Mokgodutswane o moholo Sekgosha ka Mpafatsi. Koena e jarile lehlabathe ka mokokotlo. Ya raha leqhamu ha tsekema. Ya lelala ya sheba hodimo. Raba ra bona hodimo mahananeng hona mo hudulang teng mo rena le mmino. Ke gagaulane molamu a tshepe. Ke leruarua la morampokane na ke bone ke banana ke bona ditsa diphologolo. Ke mphatlalatsane na le dia mesore bone ka yona hore masiwa se a se. Ke gegediang gege se kgetha makgetha se kgethe batho bana ke bantatao ba kgale ebile ke kgale ba o tsekisa borena. Ke lenisa la mametsi matshwana la mametsi madididi metsi a ka tewa tabeng a etsa dipororo ba sala ba o tla koma ka hlogo. Ke for peace gaola dithota re bone o etsise mmao le ntatao mohlang o le mohlatsatsi le leholo mohla o no phaladiswa baloi thuteng tsa modidi ba taoleng makgetha ha matha o a lelala o tsepa sela shebile hodimo a yo kena o baholo ba hae baholo bontile morunywane motse o sena makgetha wa hlora. Ke le ranthane la nthithi ya banana ba le phumme ba le lahlafatse ba re le sale le tshikisa makgethana ho tsheka wa tsheka Mokoena o mpa sitwa kwa kgamola o tsheka jwalo ka mankukune tsietsa jwang a go ke basana ba ntse ba mmotsa makgetha o haile kae o re ha iso ke hula sebakanyana a se hule ba o pala mapere le ba maoto ba ntse ba fihla ho dikoting ka ba ke le bontshe nka kgathala kwa kgamolwa le hodimo go ja wa ngodiswa nka ba ke romela ditlhare ke di le molemo ngwana mme a ntse a phela Makgetha o halefetseng hakana-kana ke sejantša madimo a e ja batho ntateng Kagelle molangwana fela ke phuke tlala ena e sitwa e nyala haelale le rona makwala re none e tswentwa ke ya madula mmogo e ya kae baneng ya kgaola yaya Eminence, Excellencies, most distinguished graduates, friends, and family. This concludes the proceedings for this evening. The university takes great pride and pleasure in inviting all graduates and their guests to exam room 4, where tea, coffee, and soft drinks will be served. The national anthem will be played after that. You are requested to remain standing while the congregation is dissolved and the main and academic processions leave the hall. May you please rise. By the power vested in me as Chancellor, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of the Free State. Let us continue to be safe.
Sabke.